Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I'm your host Mary Ellen. This is an episode of Hodgepodge where I have something very specific that I am working through. Doing an acrylic paint inventory, and just kind of want to show you what I have been doing. So I'm going to call this Hodgepodge, focused Hodgepodge. So what do we have? What do we have? So normally this bin is full of these kinds of paints, readily available at craft stores, bunch of different brands, etc., etc. You can periodically get different kinds of packaging. I have that, and I also have this. These I'm gonna try to not buy anymore because of the packaging. Specifically, I want to be able to have all of the paints that I have fit in this bin. Currently, it does not, because I'm not using my paints to their best advantage, and I keep purchasing onesies and twosies thinking I don't have that color scheme, and that is not actually true. So let me catch you up after I get rid of this. Is this a sequence? Or is this splodge? No, it's a sequence. Okay, never mind. It'll be fine. So, color wheel is the first thing that I played around with. And I essentially took all of the paint that I had and using this kind of sample, I think this one's black. Yeah, that's black. That's a brown. It's kind of like a taupe over there. Couple of greens, purple, and that's sort of like a light blue. So I think lighter goes closer and darker goes outwards. So pink is red with a white, so it would go there. Point is, you can take all of your paints and place them around the color wheel like this, and you get a sense then of what colors you have a lot of, what colors you don't have a lot of. And you can also do another thing, which is take a photograph of the layout, and you need to have like the paint's color showing. So if you're doing that, it's not going to work so well. And then change the photograph to full black and white, and then you get to see the paint tone. So black is going to be a dark, and this green reads as light. Super important for me to know because I can never figure out which is which. So there is dark, medium, and light. The quilting crowd will does this on the regular in terms of being able to get things that work in a quilt. They need to see light fabrics, medium fabrics, and dark fabrics. I have tried to label the bottoms of these so that I can visually see what I have done, and I want to do better letters. So that's medium. I wonder if a fatter marker will help. Where's the fatter marker? Let's do this one. That might be better. Here we are. That is better. So I store my paints upside down so that the paint gets a chance to seep to the top. And I will put them in like that in a Roy G. Biv kind of order, light, medium, dark. This is a dark. Now, I don't have all of my paint here because I did yet another yes, that's much better. This is going to be a dark, of course it is. Do it right, do it pink. Because I did another sort. And that is, so notwithstanding anything, I will put, when I buy a container of paint, I will write down the month and the year on the paint so that I know how old it is, because I am not regularly using my acrylics and I want to be able to sort of see the age. This is the breakdown for weight. So I basically weighed all of my paints, and I have them in 4 categories. I have the almost full, about 75% full, about 50% full, and I have the 25% full. A full container, for anybody who is interested, is about 95 grams. Almost empty is kind of 23, 25. It's in the sort of low to mid 20s. And I basically just created a profile to say, okay, and then just add and create sort of that. So these are all of the ones that are nearly done. And if I want to get some good rotation, these are the paints that I should use on the regular to get rid of them. So put those over there. Where will we put those? I'm not sure. Sorry about that, I just wandered away. I should have announced that I will be right back, and I just want to put an elastic around that. There we are, and that's pretty good. And this should be my active paint batch. Now I will be right back. Okay, there we are. So if this is the 25%ies, put those aside. These are my 50%s, horseshoes and hand grenades. And I want to make the bottom labels much bigger, like I did on the last one. So you will come along with me for that ride, should you choose to. You always have control over the fast forward button and the yeah, not so much button. I'm gonna say, I was trying to say dark. This would be a one that I wouldn't necessarily, I would say that's medium, but it's not, it's dark. This is for sure dark. Out light. That's a medium. Well, that's a medium. And because this is something that is changes over time, so as I use paint, the paint is always dropping into the next category, and that's perfectly fine. You can sort of refresh this as you see fit. Or don't do it at all, just enjoy your paint. That's also something you can do. Oops. Almost all of the red is dark, and that makes me so sad because I would love for red to be a medium. I feel like medium can match nicely with the light and the dark can really has only got one roll. There we are, and there's that. I'll put a little elastic band around it. Okay, and I will go get the next batch. Be right back. Okay, that's a lot of paint. The last two categories are the most extensive, which kind of makes sense, maybe, I don't know. So this is our mediums. So this is the containers that are around 60 to 75. Horseshoes and hand grenades. And I don't think I need to care about any category except for the very smallest, because they're the ones that I am most likely to, it will be easiest to make room for everybody else. Hey, paint manufacturers, if you're listening, you know, having something smooth would help. This color and that color are the ones that in the color wheel setup I have the least of. Oops. There. Be scooped up. Look these over here. Oops. Okay, and I'll be right back and I'll get the last category.